Good morning and welcome to the City Infrastructure Committee meeting. I'd like to begin today's meeting by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to the City Infrastructure meeting of the 7th of September. I declare this meeting open at 11:01 a.m. I'd like to advise attendees in the room that this meeting is being webcasted and audio recorded. I remind attendees to practice social distancing and take necessary safety precautions. There being no leave of absence, we've got Councillor Stemp on the Teams. Welcome, Councillor Stemp. What have we got next? I now refer to item 4.1. Can the Manager of Water Infrastructure Solutions, Mr Mark Vaughan, please enter discussions? Before we open the discussion on this item, do any councillors have a conflict of interest to declare? There being none, I'll just wait for Mr Vaughan to set up. And he says it's going to be a quick one this morning, which is great. I now refer to Mr Vaughan to open public discussion. You may proceed.
Thank you, Councillor Lane, and I'll keep this quick. If we could load the PowerPoint, through the chair, I'll take the report as read and go quickly through the presentation that was attached. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for that. Okay, thank you. So this report is really to update Council on how Logan Water went with its capital works program for last year. You'll see that. Actually, sorry, I'll just open this up so I can see it as well. Last year we had a revised budget. Our revised budget was $91 million. We came to Council in the mid-year review process and revised our original budget to $91 million. And through the process we were able to deliver $86.5 million worth of works. Some of the highlights, we had our prudent and efficiency audit by one of our partners, Cardno, and was assessed as being 100% prudent and efficient. You can see that we got through another year with no lost time injuries, which was fantastic, no environmental incidents, and we picked up a number of awards primarily for our Cedar Grove project going forward. Just some of the projects that we worked on. We've spoken about this a couple of times at committee, but we've had our potable network, water network, the flow meters out in that network providing us greater functionality in our growing areas of the city. We did a lot of work in water supply network improvements. We've got a lot of old water fittings in Logan, and we're going through replacing those, primarily making sure that we get can meet all of our desired standards of service there. We have to disinfect our water, so at a lot of the reservoirs we've been putting in these chlorine dosing facilities, making sure that we have good control of our water disinfection as the water comes out of the reservoirs and goes into the network to serve our customers. East Ridge Umumba, this pump station is now complete, ready for the developer to connect up there. So that's been a project that's been a long time on the books, and great to see that one now done. And the final one that we just put into our highlights package, sorry, second last one, was the wastewater renewals. We do a lot of renewals around a lot of our wastewater pipelines are asbestos cement pipelines. They're ageing, and we're using a relining technology This work happens in where that can be in customers' backyards or out on the street, depending on which way the sewer main is laid, but we're renewing those throughout the city. And likewise, we're doing upgrades at our main wastewater treatment plant, so another program of works that has been complete. So some of the cool things that we've got in delivery coming at the moment, our gasification project, some big milestones we're about to hit this month. The dryers are in the port of Brisbane at the moment. Dryers are due to arrive on site next week. So that's a very significant event for Logan, and the gasifiers are actually going to arrive the week after. So that project's tracking well. The 1 megawatt solar array, now that is actually just about up and running at the moment, so all the construction is complete on that, and we'll be able to announce in the very near future that that's on and providing solar energy straight into the grid and covering a lot of the energy usage for the plant at Logan. And our Stage 8 upgrade. That Stage 8 upgrade, we're about to start the bulk earthworks again later this month. So some of our big projects that we've been talking to you guys about for a period of time, they're all underway. This one's coming through. Didn't make it for last year, but this is in the final stages of reinstatement. This is River Hills Road pump station in Eaglewing. So a significant upgrade there and getting rid of a very old problematic pump station that we've had a lot of trouble with for a while now. Another project that's complete at Logan Village Pump Station. So that's on a pump station just as you're leaving Logan Village coming into the city. It's on the left there. That one's now, that job's complete. The last thing we want to do is actually paint that wall that you can see there. And I think the final one I've got for you is, again, another one that we're doing out at Logan Home. Those white big metal things there, they're our pumps that are going in for the Logan Home lift station. So quite an amazing job when you actually stand at the top of that. That's 24 metres down that pump station, so you can see the pumps at the bottom there. It's a really, really impressive job. So again, something that's being renewed after years and years of service. So with me, I think I went a little bit over, Councillor Lane, over my allotted time, but that's an update on what we got through last year in the capital program for Logan Water.
That was an absolutely outstanding, quick report. Thank you so much. Mr Mayor.
I concur with you, Madam Chair. It's a good report because people think that water costs nothing to deliver. If you saw those slides there, every resident in the city should be watching those slides. I know they won't be because they bore the pants off them, but to see the prices, to see, you know, the capital works program and how much deliver those projects, we know that water's not free. And, you know, every councillor worth his salt would have gone to a resident and the first thing that says is, what do we get for our rates? That's a clear example of what we get for our rates. We get capital work programs done, delivered, and outcomes is about the delivery of one of our most, well, capital resource really is water. Without it, we can't live, we can't do anything. So, you know, we've come a long way since the Romans and their aqueducts. It's a lot more expensive now, but obviously, you know, we've got a great product and the boys here are delivering. The interesting project was, and I think residents should be watching, was solar panels at Logan Home. I'm going to ask a question. You're suggesting that it's going to go straight on the grid. Is it not going to go straight into the...
It does both.
Does it go onto the grid and come back, or is it?
It can do both. So we'll use what we can in the plant.
During the day?
Yeah, if we've got any excess, it can go into the grid.
So you maximise that during the day to obviously have the pumps running at full pelt during the day to maximise the power coming in.
Yeah. So the plant at Logan Home is a very high energy using plant. So by having that on there, we can actually almost use 100% of that power on the plant. Anything extra can go into the grid.
And just a question for me, because I'm very interested in solar panels and I've got solar panels at home, and I've been watching the price of solar panels, and I've never obviously bought them on a scale that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Is it even more economically viable to do it on such a massive scale like you've done?
Oh, look, the bigger it is, the cheaper it is.
Yep.
And I suppose we've always got to try and make sure that we can always use the energy we produce. But yeah, look, that was a cost-neutral project for us by putting all of those panels in. So with the money we'll get back in power.
My biggest fear is storms, hailstones. Are they on a commercial grade so that if the hailstone comes down that they'll be resilient in those storms?
Look, that's just probably starting to get me out of an area where I can answer with
Okay.
real confidence. I understand these are rated for being in the storms, but how they've actually tested that, I'd have to get back to you.
Okay, I'll be interested in that response later. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Let's face it, nothing prepares anything for a good Queensland hailstorm. Do any other councillors have any questions? Councillor Stamp? No? There being none, is there a mover for the motion that's on the board? Councillor Bannon, seconder. Councillor Fraser. All those in favour, please raise your hands and keep them up. That is carried unanimously. Thank you very much. What have we got next? We do indeed. So that motion has been carried. That marks the end of the Manager Water Infrastructure Solutions Report. Is there any general business for Mr Vaughan? No, there being none. I note that due to social distancing restrictions, not all managers or staff could attend today. That being said, does anyone have any general business for the Acting Director of Road and Water Infrastructure, Councillor Raven?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to pass on some high praise from my community to the contractors that have been doing the work both on Chambers Flat Road and on Browns Plains Road and Coolmunda Street. There's a great deal of resurfacing works happening in my electorate at the moment, and in the context of a few gripes about communication in regards to night works, a number of community members responded by saying they'd never seen such high quality resurfacing works done, that they were so impressed with how quickly they were done. They were so impressed with the condition of the road, and Browns Plains Road has been in for the longest, so they're very impressed with how that stood up over the last few months. I was door knocking Coolmunda Street yesterday. Every single person commented on how good those contractors were and how well they communicated, and they were so impressed with the joins between the new sections of the ceiling and the edge. So high praise all round from residents that I didn't ask them what they thought of the roadworks, they just offered that proactively. So thank you very much to you and the contract team. I know that often you hear complaints from councillors, so I thought you'd like to hear the positive feedback as well.
Councillor Karansky?
In a similar vein, Darryl, could you please pass on to your team my sincere thanks for their assistance in going out and meeting with Palm Lake residents in the past week. Lizelle was outstanding, and as was Peter Murphy, who's actually from our community engagement team. And we had opportunity to meet with the respective boards from both Palm Lake Waterford and Palm Lake Bethania, and gathered some really valuable feedback. And I'd also like to acknowledge the contractor who came out, Mark. It was fantastic. The engagement was great, and I really appreciate your proactive approach with regard to this. So thank you.
Councillor Heremiah?
Thanks, Madam Chair. I just have two questions for the Director. Last month, I raised the lack of line markings on Logan Reserve Road. Do we have an update on the progress of redoing the line markings on Logan Reserve Road?
Director?
Through you, Madam Chair. I am aware that there was some correspondence that went backwards and forwards with yourself from the area that was looking after that, and at that point in time they didn't have an exact date, but I'm more than happy to chase them and see if they actually can provide that to you now. Yep.
Thank you. And a couple of weeks ago, a community landmark in Heritage Park was unfortunately damaged in quite an unfortunate accident. A car hit the koala mural on Bayliss Road, and that mural has been there for decades, and it's an icon of the community. My understanding is that repairing that mural falls within RCM, and I've been advised that it falls within RCM. Mr. Director, can the community be assured that Council is doing everything it can to repair that wall, get the mural back up, and get our Bayless Road koala back up on that wall.
I will come and have a talk to you, Councillor Herremeier, if that's okay. It doesn't fall well within any program of council at this point in time, so I will come and have some discussion with you around how that may be progressed.
Thank you.
Bishop to night 5, he came back at you. Mr Mayor.
Yeah, just a quick one. Have we got any update on the M1? I was down there Sunday night, and I noticed they're very, very close to opening up all lanes, particularly the northbound, and there was only the line marking that was really preventing it from being opened up. Have we got any outcome on that?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr Mayor, so there was correspondence which went out under your signature to the Minister, who has written back to Council and offered that his office would arrange a meeting with TMR to talk about the M1 project and several other projects which councillors raised in a GB item maybe 2 rounds ago. We're in the process at the moment of providing him a reminder that we haven't yet seen the booking for those advices, but we will have that out to his office again shortly.
Yeah, it's just that you can imagine being the mayor of the city and people asking me wherever I go when those lanes are going to be opened up, and I say, I don't know, but you're the mayor of the city. I say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just not being told when it's happening, and obviously the officers haven't been told. It's got to be very, very close, though. It's got to be imminent, and I just thought it'd be nice to know, but anyway.
So just a heads up on that, Mr Mayor. In our meeting, if you recall, with the Minister for Transport, they're organising an M1V1 briefing, and councillors have been invited along who are along that stretch. So hopefully we get some answers out of that. Councillor Bradley.
Thank you. Through the Chair, Councillor Lane, welcome to my world, Mr Mayor. Lack of information about things going on in your area. And I am very much looking forward to that briefing. Hopefully we get a bit more than what I got in my last briefing from TMR, which was basically what's in the public domain. Anyway, that wasn't the purpose of me putting my hand up. The purpose really was when Councillor Herremeier was referring to the line marking. I have noticed that a lot of line marking has faded in different areas in the area I represent. It was my understanding that there was like a yearly assessment of that when someone went around and assessed yearly areas of the city that needed line marking. Is that still underway?
Director.
Mr. Riley?
Madam Chair, there is a inspection process that we run for pavement condition, and I think with that they do pick up line marking, but I don't think it's specifically targeted at line marking, and it's at that would be picking up things that are at that worse end. I can certainly maybe provide you some further detail on that. I'll have a talk to RCM and come back to you.
I have a recollection that there used to be, so I don't know where that has gone, but I'm happy to email you with streets that are of concern where I can't even see the line marking anymore.
Through you, Madam Chair, in the first instance, I'll have a talk to RCM branch and actually come back and inform you in regards to the process that we do have, rather than maybe setting you that task of having to go and do that piece of work, and then we can go from there if that's suitable. Yep.
No one else has any general business for the Director? That's great. So that completes our agenda for today. I declare the City Infrastructure Committee meeting of 7 September 2021 closed at 11:20 a.m. Thank you very much.